Now we're back.
Down and
What's up, you
This
two?
is the first time I've signed
hold on. I
on.
gotta do this for the sound.
Yeah. Are we muted? Before I start talking, are we
No,
muted?
we're
Do we
not.
have to start over again?
I need to do that to.
a clap sync.
I can, sync up the
Clap sync?
audio. With,
Okay.
Right.
That's what people who record.
You guys are off your
do.
game today because this is the first time we've switched to live without me trying to hold back some ridiculous inside joke we were just talking about that makes no sense.
Oh yeah, well.
Don't worry about the big stink in the taint.
I'm on like 2 weeks of nonstop going, so I've got blue brain.
That's because
And
you've been up all
yes.
night trying to get lucky.
all I got was Smalley.
Yeah, dude, here we go again.
We're up all night to this.
and Dark is bringing up the fact that, first time the audio is working right off the
Dark,
bat.
we don't need you to yell at us.
Oh, yeah,
we know we
by the way, the
suck.
Browns lost by
Yeah.
30 and Baker threw another interception. So I just
Here we
checked.
go
So
again.
ignore the shirt.
it,
They'll get
Baker.
better someday, maybe. No, they won't. Yeah. All right.
Going back to Abacast.
So yeah, we will do. I guess we'll do the recap like we usually do.
I don't get it.
We're talking about ABBA.
They were talking about Mamma Mia.
Yeah, the hit
There
band
are-
ABBA.
There you
ABBA?
go. There,
The
there's,
hit band of the 70s and 80s.
there are some things now too, but there's 4 things you can buy in the store.
Yep. And I'm sort of prepared for 2 of the 4.
So buy all 4.
If Dark buys anything today, it's already the one. I can promise you that.
Great.
That doesn't bode well.
That's all right.
Let's make all of our notification sounds just ABBA songs.
No, just check them out now, Dark. That's fine.
Like if he buys something, he just goes, "Here we go again." Dude, I'm into it. Dude, I'm all ABBA all day. I'm sorry.
You're horrible.
You're not loud.
Do we not have drink holders on our end?
Yeah, we're
No,
we're losers.
I only have 4. Sorry.
Hey, welcome to the losers.
Well, no, actually, I forgot to go get you a tray table. Usually, there'd be a tray table on your
My
side.
drink holder's literally just holding my finished coffee while I got my regular drink here.
F3.
All right, so this is the competition, day 2. Episode 1, for you guys that weren't here, was everyone arriving to the town of Suma, which, just so Cody and Bob can see, this is, the town of Suma is right here in the Crane Lands. So you guys have journeyed from way north up there. Our 2 new characters are both members of the Dragon Clan.
Figures.
You'll know from last week we made jokes about them being in the background, and the dragon obviously sends
18
people to each competition to make sure they win. So you guys, whether or not you met up on the roll, if you guys want to role play any of this stuff, you can. You guys, for whatever reason, kind of kept to yourself on day 1. You were in the background, just kind of gauging everybody's strengths and weaknesses. The competitions from day 1. Bob, actually, your character did rather well. Cody, your character did rather average.
Just like real life.
Again,
Spectacularly average.
so
That's what my mom says.
it's all right. The first thing that was noted as you guys came into town was that there was a Mantis clan member at the competition this year, which was highly unusual. Normally, this is a prestigious contest reserved just for the great clans. You found out right away that he was already being singled out as his room reservation did not hold up, and he had nowhere to stay because everywhere was full in town. Melissa,
Because the craner jerks you.
yeah. Well, plus this is like compared to like the Olympics, like a big sporting event. There's hundreds of people that come into town to watch this. It's not just the contestants. It's also a major spectator event.
Yeah.
Normally there's a lot of
The
extra
Jamaican bobsled team in the Olympics. It's like, why are you here?
So Melissa bunked with the other unicorn NPC to offer him up a room. That night, as you guys were prepping, you were awakened by a ghost. The ghost told you that he would like to see the Mantis become a samurai worthy of his father.
Keep him alive.
The ghost was the ghost of the recently deceased Emerald Champion, which news has spread all around of. And you guys asked me last week, and I didn't have an answer for you. The new Emerald Champion is selected, very similar to a contest that you guys are going through. And that contest is currently being prepared. So you guys asked me how the next Emerald Champion is going to get
So it's not
nominated.
an emperor, I want you. It's
No, it's the most worthy members are going to go up against
Gotcha.
each other and something like this. And no, none of you are going to be the next Emerald Champion.
We'll see.
Nice try.
instead of just like a friendly duel, it's actually a duel to the death.
You tell us we can't do it. We'll find a way to do it.
Well, someday maybe. Someday, young samurai.
We'll split the power amongst us.
Yeah. I understand you're a 17-year-old samurai who, you'll be a samurai tomorrow, maybe, but that doesn't mean you can do anything.
If you clean your plate.
So anyways, the ghost told you he would like the mantis to become a samurai worthy of his father, and that was basically kind of cryptic from then on out. They had a separate encounter with the same ghost, even though they weren't in your encounter. They had some other stuff that they could also share with you. Then we moved to day one of the competition. We had We had wrestling, the traditional Sumai wrestling.
Yep.
We had heraldry, athletics, horseback riding, and then a conduct. And that was the end of the day. Everybody had a decent score. Derek is currently in the lead with 14 points. Bob is now in second place because we rolled his up last night off camera. He's got 10. Melissa has 9. Cody has 8. Bram and Durr have 7. 8 points is what's required out of 15 available points today.
Pressure's on, boys. Pressure's on.
So yes, there are 15 available points in a day, and Derek got 14 of the 15.
Of course, Cody wasn't even here, and he just automatically.
But we all know
samurai.
that this is just for bragging rights.
Mm-hmm.
The
He
winner
wants
of
to
the
win.
competition is the duelist.
Yeah, the winner of the duel on day 3 is the real winner.
So even if someone has like max points and they lose the duel, they don't
The
win.
points are more for are you going to score high enough to become a samurai.
Right.
The champion will be determined by a single.
So once you hit
elimination.
8, I could just be like, I don't want to do this.
But that would certainly
That
be
would-
breaking Bushido.
Yeah,
And
but
that
I mean,
would-
technically you could.
You could, but you would lose honor and get sent
Yeah.
home, and
Someone was a samurai, though.
But anyways, the night concluded in a sake house where we had some Ronin bust in. They threw out some insults to everybody. Eventually, they insulted Hitoshi enough because why are you even here? You're less of a samurai than even us. And the Mantis clan finally was at his limit and threw a punch, and that ensuing brawl, everyone took a little bit of fatigue, a little bit of damage. If you guys wrote it down, and you still have some hearts to take, go ahead. And that's where we ended, and that's where we're gonna pick up.
I think I only had one.
Well, when the scene's over, you guys all healed some, so you guys might have healed what damage you
Oh
took.
wait, maybe that's what it
Derek,
was.
Derek was one that took enough that after healing, he
some.
still had some left. Everyone, I don't know if everybody even got hit, but during this fist fight where no Ronins drew their sword, Durr decided he was going to go all out with a flaming katana and murder someone in one hit.
I mean, it makes sense. Why wouldn't you bring a gun to a
And
fight?
that's kind of when they were like, oh, time to go. And they scooped up their guy and ran away. And yes, so now everyone has access to using their techniques. Also, everyone now has access to void points. So we're beginning the game with points, void points equal to half your void ring.
But you see that on the screen now.
Yeah,
Roundup.
is on the screen now. That is now a resource that people can buy for us. When you spend a void point, you roll an extra black dice, and you can choose to keep another black dice, the ring dice. The other thing you can use a void point for is a shattering parry. Like if you're about to die, you can spend a void point, basically breaking your weapon in the process, avoiding one critical strike that could have probably killed you.
How would that work with fists? I shatter my fists.
Well, it's called a shattering parry. I'm sure there's rules for, but maybe you would break your hand. I don't know.
I think I actually do have a weapon, but just,
Block a sword with your fist.
I just put fire swords all day.
Yeah, I mean, what monk wouldn't bring tonfas just cause?
So that's we're caught up now. That's what's new. There is a separate contest on day 3 for you.
Uh-oh.
It is possible that a Shugenja could overtake a traditional samurai and win the Topaz Championship, but it's pretty unlikely. It has happened before, but basically you're not in the main.
Those were all dragon.
You're not in the main competition, so it's a lot harder for you to win. So.
Oh, I think you just got called a second-class citizen.
Whatever. I summoned a flaming sword and knocked the guy in one hit. I don't need samurai games.
Samurai games. You're not allowed to play in samurai games anymore.
Yeah.
Remember
Rudolph.
remember how embarrassing it was when I got pushed over in a bar fight?
Yeah. That was pretty embarrassing.
You got pushed over in a bar fight?
Yeah.
So you
Because,
lost?
well, they use the technique, and part of the technique's description is that it looks very embarrassing when you get pushed over like I did.
Oh yeah, that was the Ronin's special ability, is they could spend an opportunity to knock somebody over. That was their NPC ability.
Embarrassingly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we do a thing where we bought equipment or anything like
yet,
that?
No, we're not gonna do that till after this adventure, because technically right now everyone just has like wooden practice swords and stuff. Obviously,
Cool.
except for you with your.
Fire swords.
You were not allowed to use that in the duel, just so you know.
I assumed.
So it's the next morning now, and as you guys are, having your morning tea or whatever in the courtyard, you see a shamed Kitsu Tsubasa. You guys remember another samurai that was around the average in the contest, the lion, the only representative of the lion that was in this competition. You see his arm in a sling, and he's shamefully gathering his stuff and checking out, and you can gather that he was too injured in last night's fight to continue, so he will have to return home in shame and not become a samurai. Due to the nature of archery and hunting and stuff today, without having use of his primary arm, he is too injured to continue. So there's one less person in the duel.
But he could miss an entire days of competitions and still be a samurai.
No, he gave up.
Well, it says in here you have to return home in shame and not finish your Genpuku. So even though he had enough points, he's technically not finishing his Genpuku by not completing day 2 as well.
I mean, he just choose still just this is the right stance. I can't really shoot this bow well and try.
Hey,
He sounds like a quitter to me.
Yeah, what a lion ass bitch.
hey, beginner game, okay? We learned something last week.
The lions
This
suck.
adventure is not meant for people who have role played before, because they asked me 300 questions that this should have answered, and they're not in the book at all. So I've been on the fly, just been like, because the book says so, and you're supposed to follow along. That's what happens when you play the beginner game.
That's alright.
That's all right, because after this one, we'll get into real stuff. All right, so the events of today. Well, there's actually 6 events today. I said 5.
Oh, wait, can we backtrack a little bit? Because I would want
Sure.
to talk to these guys before we turn in for the night after the fight.
Okay.
To just let them know that after talking to the Mantis guy, I think that was it the Crane? Wait, what are the judges?
Yeah.
The judge,
Crane, yeah.
the Crane is like the head of running the contest, but the judges have been from all clans.
Right, because there was I think it was the Cranes were the ones that were singling him out.
Mm-hmm.
And then also that I thought that the guys in the bar were.
Well, can we put our heads
planted
together
there.
and see if we can figure out who this guy's father is through his heraldry and history?
Did we not discuss that?
Yeah, well,
we have an idea.
You guys have some ideas that you guys haven't met each other yet. So if you want to share
my thoughts is that a Crane samurai got busy with the Mantis Maiden.
Well, from information that I forget what your school is, but whoever's son, Melissa,
Otaku?
Otaku's son.
Otaku, right?
Yep, Otaku's son. The Crane would be
But isn't
This-
that like a
this-
really nerdy Japanese
Yeah.
reference?
Yeah, I'm weeb son.
Just wait till you hear the Emperor.
Yeah, we are. That the crane would be his father-in-law. The one that's giving him the hard time, the head of this competition, is his father-in-law. Or uncle, rather. I'm sorry. Uncle.
Yeah, either the Emerald Champion who died or
Well, remember, I skipped something on the recap too from them. If remember meeting the servant on the road.
Yeah, that's what it was. The letter that said,
Yeah.
you know,
You've been
sending
better
it
dad
to
than me.
sending. He was getting sent to the head of the Crane school, saying, you know, acknowledging that
Dad.
the father was his brother-in-law. So obviously this would be then his nephew. But
Yeah.
But then he was saying that you would be a better father than me because you always said that. So now it just sounds like, well, now it's time for you to step up and be
Yeah.
what you always said. But we still don't know who his father is. It could be the Emerald
Yeah, we
Champion,
think it's the Emerald Champion, the dead one.
but we don't know.
We can't ask him because
So let me.
But I could, no, I mean, but the Emerald Champion, yeah.
I will backtrack and remind everyone what that letter said. So you met Ryu, who was the servant of the Emerald Champion, taking his belongings to his brother-in-law, who is the head of this duel, the Toshimoku, the Crane clan.
So I might be projecting. I might be.
It said, "You have often told me you're a better father to my children than I am. I can only hope the fortunes bless you or curse you with children of your own one day, that you can see the true challenges of fatherhood." That letter was addressed to the writer's brother-in-law, who is the Emerald Champion's brother-in-law, Toshimoku.
yeah, so I'm assuming the Emerald
Just so everybody's
Champion is-
remembering everything clearly.
because he had like the kid that he didn't let anyone know about, so the kid doesn't even know his dad. So it's like you always said you would be a better father because like I can't technically be a father to my kid.
And
So-
you guys did confront Hitoshi, and he did not know his father. He's never
So, yeah.
met his father.
So, but then
That's a
what's
deadbeat.
what's the bad blood between the Crane and the Emerald Champion?
They're
Well,
just brothers. Or
if it's his
friends.
brother-in-law, then would that mean that
The Emerald Champion was Crane.
Okay, all right. Okay, so it's Crane marrying Crane, which that's fine. But we got a Mantis as a kid.
Well, I mean, he could have. The Emerald Champion could have had a mistress, had like just like a one-off, had a kid on accident, and
Yeah.
like hid the kid away in the Mantis clan.
One-off kid.
One-off Mantis.
they call them bastards?
He had a one-night stand in the Mantis Empire and left his child there. It's like in Oblivion.
So
So you guys have